with Murphy, and we're just going to give you a brief training demonstration of the training that he's had and just kind of show you what he's capable of. So just on a personal note, we've really enjoyed Murphy. He has been just a really good dog. He's got an exceptional personality and he's excelled in the training. So I think you're really going to enjoy him. So what I'm going to show you, there's basically 5 components to the training program. First, there's socialization, where he gets intensive, positive interactions with a variety of people, places, animals, environments, and that begins right when he's really little, and just continues throughout. Like, for example, today we took him to a park and took him all around on the playground equipment, took him up and down the stairs, across the bridges with all the kids, down the slides. Anyway, and that just really plays into getting him being a really well-rounded dog without a lot of the fears and anxieties that they can have if you don't socialize them really well. So that's the socialization. We also have manners, obedience commands, house training, and leash training, and that's primarily what we're going to be demonstrating here for you today. And we're going to start out with manners. So for your manners, one of the first things you want to prevent is him learning to jump up on you or to jump up on little kids. And what we've taught him is a preventative measure to jumping, and that is that you want him to sit for a greeting, just like that. Good boy. Good boy. So make sure that you and all your family members always remember to ask for a sit when he greets you. He doesn't want to leave the shade here. But come on, Murph. Come here. Just as a default behavior, when he doesn't know what else to do, you want him to sit, and that does 2 things for you. First thing is it gets him planted, so he's not moving all around you, and you have control. And the second thing it does for you is when his hind end goes down, his eyes come up to you, and when he's looking at you, then he has his attention on you, and you can give him commands or whatever you need to do from there. So always ask for a sit for a greeting. That's the first of his manners. The second of his manners is he's been taught to have a very soft, gentle mouth. He's expected to use his lips and his tongue to take food and treats and toys and things from your fingers, as opposed to his teeth. And if he ever needs a reminder, which he's got a very nice, soft, gentle mouth, but if he's ever competing with another dog, or you have something just really extra juicy in your hands and he's tempted to get grabby, just remind him by saying gently, and gently is the command to remind him to be soft with his mouth. The next of his manners is mealtime manners. And you can see he's very motivated when it comes to his meals, and make sure you always take advantage of that. Never just feed him. First of all, don't ever free feed him, meaning just leaving his food out for him throughout the day to just kind of graze at will. So make sure you feed him meals, 2 meals a day preferably, while he's still younger than a year, and then after that it's a matter of preference if you want to do 1 or 2 meals a day. But always ask for obedience when you feed him, and what he's expected to do is hold a sit-stay until he's released and allowed to eat. Nope. And if he breaks his stay, just give a quick correction like that and put him back into a sit-stay and put it back down. And he's expected to just stay there and wait for your verbal permission before he's allowed to eat. Okay. And okay is the release word. And if you'll notice, I said it in kind of an upbeat, chipper tone of voice. And this lets him know that he's free to eat, and it also lets him know that he did the right thing. Good boy. Another thing that we've done is we've made a habit of putting our hand in the dog's food bowl while he's eating and rewarding him and making that a pleasant experience for him, so that it prevents him from developing protective aggression, or resource guarding is what a lot of people call it. when puppies, for example, if a baby crawls up to a dog's food bowl while he's eating and then gets growled at or nipped at, that's very natural behavior for a dog, and you want to prevent that. And so make sure you take the time every once in a while to put your hand in your dog's food bowl while he's eating, so that he anticipates that and looks forward to that rather than feeling like he needs to guard against it. And then when we take the food away, we can just give him another stay. Okay. And then he's not allowed to eat until he has verbal permission from you. And that really kind of lays the foundation of what we're trying to achieve with this training program, is we want to replace physical control with verbal control. So instead of having to fight him off the food physically or control him physically all the time, we're really getting him responsive to us verbally and being cued into us verbally on what he does and does not have permission to do and when, and that's going to go a long ways. So quickly, the next manner that he's been taught to do is to hold a stay at the door. So is that okay if you follow me over to the door? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll show you what to do at doorways. Come. Let's come here. So anytime you go through a doorway, matter of fact, there's an acronym that I teach people to help them remember, and it's called All Good Dogs Fetch Toys. AGDFT, and that stands for attention, gates, doorways, food, and toys. Make sure you get obedience from your dog and verbal permission from you. Make your dog expect that before you give him access to any of those 5 things. Because those 5 things are things that most owners give their dogs several times a day anyway, so you might as well take advantage of it and make that a training moment for them. And not only does it make a training opportunity for you, but it also really contributes to your bond with your dog. Sometimes we tend to think that expecting him to hold stays at the door every single time or every time you feed him is a little bit too strict or militaristic, but actually the way dogs are designed is they crave leadership. They like having a leader, a pack leader, and knowing who's in charge. That gives them a deep sense of security. So if you lay that structure for them and expect them to hold the stay every single time you go in and out of a house or in and out of his crate or whenever you feed him, then he knows what to expect every time. He knows what the boundaries are, and he knows that he needs to look to you for that permission, and that's really going to establish a deep bond with him to you as his leader, and that'll make him feel really secure and content in that relationship. So I'll just show you what to expect at the doorway. You don't necessarily need to say stay. He knows it's an implied stay, so he just knows anytime you go through that he needs to stay and wait. And again, you just release him with the okay, like you did before. Okay. Okay, come on. Sorry, I'm going to sneak him out here. He found Bubba. He wanted to stay with Bubba. So that's his doorway manners. And that kind of covers our manners. And one of the last things that we do talk about in manners is chewing. And the biggest thing about chewing is just to expect dogs, especially puppies, while they're teething, they need to chew. They have a need to do that. So make sure that you provide plenty of adequate things that are appropriate for him to chew. For example, raw butcher bones or bully sticks or rawhide or nylabone. There's all kinds of things, Kong toys, that are just really great for them to be able to chew on, and give him plenty of access to that. And then just keep him away from things that he shouldn't be chewing. And there are some things in the house that he's going to have constant access to that he's not allowed to chew. For example, your furniture. So if he starts chewing on that or is tempted to chew on that, just grab the leash and give a quick pop and say no, and replace it with something that is appropriate for him to chew, like a bone or a toy or something like that. And that's really going to help with chewing. So that's our manners. Next I'm going to go to obedience commands. I'm going to show you come, sit, stay, down, stay, crate, drop it, watch me, and go to bed. We'll come back over here to the crate.